let's kick it off with a guy who probably is the most exciting addition to the New York Giants this offseason here. And that is number 6 overall pick in this year's draft, Malik Nabers, wide receiver at LSU. Listen, guys, at this point, we've gone over Malik Nabers 10,000 times, it feels like. We did draft profiles on him. We talked about him post-draft. So we're not going to go with tons and crazy into the stats of him here. Again, 6 foot even, 200 pounds, 20 years old, doesn't even turn 21 in July. Like, he's barely old enough to drink when the season starts. Like, that's amazing how young he is and how talented he is already. Last year at LSU, 13 games, 89 receptions, 1,569 yards, 14 touchdowns, and a 92.9 PFF score. And, of course, can't forget the one rush for 1 yard. Again, this is a guy who is probably going to be the best wide receiver that we have had on this roster since OBJ. That's what we're looking at, guys. The best wide receiver since OBJ, basically. And you got to get excited about this guy coming onto this team here. You really do. Because this is something we've been lacking for a while. Having a top flight receiver that can not just take the top off of defenses, but to be a guy defenses have to worry about, have to plan for, have to figure out how to cover. And I know we lost Saquon Barkley this year, and a lot of people are all worried about that. And I get it. Like, dynamic player, appreciate everything he did for the Giants. You know, I won't sit here and trash talk him. But I want you guys to think about this for a moment. Ask the average NFL fan. Let's go. Let's not even ask the fan. Let's ask an NFL executive, an NFL coach, you know, people that work within the NFL, if they would rather have a top flight receiver or a top flight running back on their roster. And I guarantee you that they'll say they want the top flight wide receiver over the top running back. I mean, we talk about Saquon Barkley is a top 5 to top 10 running back based on what he did last year. You know, if you got the chance to, let's say, guy like, and I hate to use division rivals here, but I use them since we see them on a regular basis. If you got the chance to trade Saquon Barkley for CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown, you would do it in a heartbeat. There's a reason guys get paid at running back $10 million if they're lucky, and guys at wide receiver now getting paid $20 million. It's the better and more important position. So this is a guy who's potentially going to be the face of the franchise now. You know, and as far as expectations, what we should think here is reasonable for him. I understand the issues at quarterback play, and that has to come into this. Like, you can't just ignore the fact that Daniel Jones or maybe Drew Lock is going to throw footballs to this guy. You know, a big downfall from where he should be in the NFL. This is a top flight receiver. You got to get somebody who can get him the ball. He's not wrong when he said it. Again, he shouldn't have said it, but he's not wrong. So I compare last year, Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison with the Vikings went through, you know, a decent stretch in the beginning there where, you know, he Kirk Cousins obviously at that point. But then after that, Kirk Cousins went ahead and got hurt, and they had like 4 different quarterbacks that he played with. You know, none of them exactly considered stellar. And he still ended up with 70 receptions, 911 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Guys, that's a good rookie season. And doing that basically handcuffed here with those quarterbacks. I mean, that's goddamn impressive to do. You know, and those who watch the show on a regular basis know that I have a ton of respect for Jordan Addison. I actually think a lot of the Heisman season that Caleb Williams had with the the prior season there back in 22 is because of this man. You saw a big drop off from him. Nobody wants to talk about that. Good wide receiver makes him better. But here's a guy now who was catching passes from, half the season Kirk Cousins, and then goes to Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins, Jaron Hall, and he still gets almost 1,000 yards as a rookie. So this has got to be the bar, as far as I'm concerned, for Malik Nabers. You got to do that. You got to go ahead and get at least 900 yards at that point. What I want, though, is I want to break 1,000 yards. I want him to do that so bad because it's been some years, guys. We haven't had one since OBJ left. And quite frankly, I'm tired of hearing fans every year talk about OBJ signing him back again. It's nostalgia is why you guys want him back. He's not that good a player anymore. Injuries have gotten to him. He's got a little older. This athleticism is what made him special. This guy has the potential to be a top 10 wide receiver in this league. As we got Rob back here. We're back to
damn internet
again. One giant goofball. You missed
my terrible one. Just one hang slow.
So I was just about to switch over to our next wide receiver. Rob, do you want to give any thoughts on Malik Nabers before we go to the next?
I mean, not know what you said. I mean, I'm probably going to repeat a lot, but Malik is a game changer. Like, he's a generational talent that we've missed since OBJ. And I don't know if you talked about his tweets, but he is fantastic. He literally put out there. I did not talk about
tweets. Go for it. That's fresh.
Oh,
that's fresh. That's
so it's not even fresh. It's like a week old at this point.
Well, it's fresh. The show. Quite frankly,
yeah.
The only time I use Twitter is to post our episodes, stuff like that. That's it.
It's usually what it is. Well, that he posted it, like it came up on my recommended looks at. He put up on Twitter or X. He goes, "Don't worry, Giant fans or New York fans. I'm not going to go on any yachts anytime soon."
Oh my god!
And he had a picture of all the receivers on the yacht. And then someone put it. I forget the handle to put it right below it, but it had like 10,000 likes at the time. He goes, "That's great.
Well, there was a thing with Tyler Newman. You saw that, right?"
But no, I didn't see it. But hold on. But whoever said that right away goes, "Don't worry about the yachts. How do you feel about them ATVs?" He goes, "Nah, I don't." Insert the 4-letter word with those things.
So the yacht thing came up this week actually because Tyler Newman went on a trip with other players that were with the Minnesota Gophers prior, last season, and they happened to go onto a boat like that. And because of that, of course, now him being a Giant fans went a little ballistic. He didn't know the history of that photo, but let's be honest. That's one of those stories. If you're not a Giant fan, you don't know what that is. For those who might not remember it, I hope you probably all do. But the Giants, as they're going to be prepared for their first playoff win back in, was it 16? Playoff game, sorry,
16.
Back in 16. I want to say it was
16. Yeah, 16.
They go to play Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. The OBJ and the rest of the wide receivers all decide to go on a boat and have a little boat party down in Florida before they fly up for the game. And for some reason, that kind of became the epitome of the Giants not taking it seriously because they try to have a little fun. I thought that whole part of it was overblown myself personally.
Yeah, that part's overblown.
Yeah,
but
it kind of became like, it kind of became like a curse of the Giants kind of thing at that point. I've heard a lot of people mention the new curse is the curse of Eli. We haven't done much basically since Eli Manning got benched for no reason.
That's fair. Eli. But there's also
it's also been a crappy team, but that's a whole separate thing. But
yeah, I was about to say.
But Malik Nabers is the potential to be a big part of this, though. I mean, you're talking about if he lives up to his potential, guys, this is a year in, year out 1,000-yard receiver. And that's putting it nicely because he's got the talent to not only be 1,000-yard, but be a 12, 13,000-yard kind of guy. But again, he's a rookie. He's never taken a snap in the NFL. There's going to be a learning curve. So I was telling them, Rob, when you were having your internet issues there, that the bar we're setting for him as a goal is to match what Jordan Addison did last year, because he had crappy quarterback play the second half of the season. So it's a fair comparison to say, you want respect in this league, you got to do what Addison did. He did 70 catches, 911 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Touchdown might be a little high because, he probably I'd have to look up the stats, but I'm sure he got most of them with Kirk Cousins. And actually, I look it up. He's got 6 of them. No, hold on. Of 8 weeks, he had 3 of them. So 7 of them in the first half of the season. So 7 of the 10 when it was with Kirk Cousins. So that just shows you how much a quarterback play helps a receiver. So, like I said, Malik Nabers, I'm excited. I'm excited to see.
Very excited.
I think, this has got the potential to be something really exciting. And you know what? We've talked all along about Daniel Jones not having help, which is a legit thing. And you hear people all the time, oh, if Daniel Jones only had a line, we went out and got a bunch of linemen this year. If Daniel Jones only had a top wide receiver, we went out and got a top receiver this year. Daniel Jones is an important last chance year. Quite frankly, a last chance he shouldn't get, but he's got it.
Well,
Malik Nabers is a big part of potentially having success. You can pay him all you want. Listen, if I bought a bag of, let's say, a bag of potato chips that's a special flavor. I know I make the weirdest analogies. I know I'm going for it. And let's say it's like, I don't know, barbecue with green onions or something. I don't know. I'm just making something random here. And I open it up and I don't like it. I pay for the bag. It doesn't mean I have to eat the whole damn thing.
It's true. Well, I mean,
Daniel Jones is that bag of chips, mystery flavor. We bought that bag of chips. We don't got to finish it.
I did I went across country on a car ride, and I bought ghost pepper chips, thinking, oh wow, this could be kind of cool. I had a few, and that was it. They sat in the back of the car for the whole ride.
Yeah. Okay. Deb says, did OBJ have a learning curve? He didn't, but he also, for all the issues OBJ has, I definitely think he's got some personality issues. I definitely think he has a little bit of cases of the me-me-me's.
A little bit, yeah.
I never questioned how hard he worked as a football player. And I think you can make the case that him sitting out for a little while and kind of learning a little, watching a lot of film and kind of easing his way to the NFL might have actually helped him even at that point. But, I mean, we also, those Giant fans, can't compare what OBJ did his rookie season to what Jordan Addison is going to do. Jordan Addison, I'm sorry. Malik Nabers is going to do his rookie season, because OBJ had a absolutely historic rookie season. I mean, if he didn't get hurt that first year back in 2014, are you kidding me? He would have broken potential NFL records, not for, wide receivers or rookie wide receivers. He might have just broken wide receiver records in general. Like, the pace he was on was just absolutely insane. I mean, he ends up the year 1,300 yards in 12 games.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Pretty damn good. Like, I don't know what the Giants' record is for most yards a season. I have to look it up, but he probably would have broken it. I'm about to look it up now. Let's see. In a Giants season. Here we go. Most receiving yards of the season, Victor Cruz, 1,536. He would have beat it easily. He came close to next year. But, I mean, that's what we're dealing with. You can't, and I'm not saying, Deb, that you're suggesting that we compare the two as far as that. I'm just kind of cautioning Giant fans off the cuff here, because I don't agree that OBJ came out clearly and didn't need a kinds of learning curve like a lot of rookies need, and he came in and owned the league basically right off the bat. but we got to be a little cautious to not expect that out of this guy. It's just not the same at that point. It's not a typical thing you see. Mark, what's up, man? He says, what up, guys?
What's up, bud?
And then he says, not even the Daniel Jonesers can justify him not succeeding after this year. No, they can't. They really can't. Tip says, you're cautioning, and I'm just hoping. LOL. Yeah, like I said, you know what it is? I see someone see that and go, you know what? OBJ, there's the rookie year. Like, he's going to have if he has 1 or 2 good games, Neighbors, in the beginning, people are going to expect that. And like I said, it's just not realistic.
No.
Mark says, we can't allow Jones to be a squatter in that giant house in New Jersey. He practically has been. Now it's time to pay your rent. Yeah, it's time, man. It's time for him. All right.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.